Let's stick with Christine Lagarde first. And Danny, has she got the right expertise, the right experience?
Well, she probably has. I think it's a pretty good appointment. Okay, she's a lawyer, so is Jay Powell, but you're a French finance minister, been at the IMF for 8 years, very capable, seems to understand how the world economy is going. I think one of the big things is probably this is a fairly seamless handover. Seems to be well understanding that the global economy is slowing, and probably going to follow on from what Draghi said. So I think it's a pretty darn good appointment. The fact that she's not an economist, I don't think is a big deal at all. I mean, we moved away from the Mervyn King and Ben Bernanke and Janet Yellen. And I think the other good thing is obviously it's a woman. We have women now in lots of economics jobs around the world, but you know, I think it's a pretty darn good appointment, and it could have been a lot worse. And the markets, I think, will read it that way. This woman's very capable, and is going to have to handle the politics very well. And that's not something that necessarily economists who've been central bankers have actually managed to do terribly well.
Danny, I'm glad you said that about the politics, because that's where I was going to go next. When you look at the euro area economy over the next several years, how much of its success will depend on sound or good choice of monetary policy moves versus the politics required to cajole European governments, likely the Germans foremost, to be more aggressive with fiscal policy, which a lot of people would say is the lever that really needs to be pulled at this point?
Well, Joe, I mean, I completely agree with that. I mean, that's obviously the big issue, and Draghi addressed it in his speech the other day. In some sense, the reality is it has to go on the fiscal front, because what tools does the European Central Bank have? Okay, they say they're going to cut rates, but they're already negative. They've been doing lots of QE. How far can that go? So if the global economy is slowing, and it certainly looks to be seen, PMIs this week suggesting that Germany, Italy, and Spain, at the very least, within the Eurozone, are in a manufacturing recession. So I think it's going to be very much the politics of, you know, the monetary policy can't do everything. We need help from elsewhere. And that's clearly something that Lagarde can do. She knows all the right people. She knows all the arms to twist. So I think, you know, I think that's probably the biggest deal, playing the politics, dealing with the Germans, trying to get people to understand that, you know, the European Central Bank can only do so much, and it's going to need exactly what Joe just said. It's going to need fiscal help, and that's going to be political, and I think she's well set for that.